Welcome to the D3Hoops.com Classic, the 2016 version here at South Point Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. 14 teams here in action this weekend, and we're going to be talking with all 14 of them. And I'm starting with Mark Hanson, the head coach of Gustavus Adolphus men's basketball. First of all, welcome back. I know this is not your first trip. I remember this is your second trip, so we're glad that you're back in Vegas.
Thanks. It's good to be here. And our first trip was outstanding. If this comes anything close, we'll be happy we came.
I know, if I remember correctly, you guys won 2 games against some pretty top-flight competition that time. We have you guys scheduled against a top 10 team or a top 11 team, and then another team that's receiving votes, UW-Eau Claire and Ramapo. So you guys have some pretty tough opponents here this time around as well.
Yeah, and these are important games for us. The rest of our season is conference, and with our record right now, doing well in the conference is our only way to continue the season beyond scheduled games. So these are important to see where we are and see what sort of improvement we've made since we were last on the floor.
Yeah, it's been kind of a tough start for the season for you guys. So you guys have lost 3 in a row coming in here, 2-5 on the season. It's been a struggle.
Yeah, we just haven't defended to the level that I hope we're capable of, and have been kind of hot and cold on offense. So we're looking to try to solidify some defensive things and become a little more consistent on offense.
Gustavus Adolphus is a program, go back to our early days at D3Hoops.com when you guys were Sweet 16, Elite 8 regulars, trip to the Final Four in the championship game back in 2003. Thanks for reminding me as we were walking up here. And then, over the course of the last few years, I'm trying to figure out, is it that the MIAC has gotten much better? Have you guys slipped back? Is it some combination of the two?
I think it's probably some combination of the two. I think our league has probably been a little deeper in teams 1 through 6 or so. We haven't gotten maybe some of the recruits that we had gotten earlier in my career, so that just happens sometimes, and we're trying to rectify that through making our players better, and certainly we're working hard on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, you've been at this for 27 years, so you've seen, first of all, Division III change a lot, you've seen the MIAC change a lot, and you've seen kind of just college basketball change as well.
Yeah, and actually recruiting is probably one of the things that has changed the most. It starts a lot earlier. There's a lot more summer recruiting that happens, and I think it's a more competitive and longer lasting part of the job.
You guys have, as I mentioned, of course, 2-5. You mentioned struggles on defense. You started the same 7 in the 7 games. You started the same 5. Any thoughts about changing how that's going to go this weekend?
Yeah, there's some adjustments that may be made. I think the same people will be playing, and because of some injuries, we may be playing everybody on our roster. But there will probably be a couple of starting lineup changes. Some maybe because of injury or illness. We've got some of that going on, and some let's just make some things happen.
Of course, basketball is not the only thing to do in Las Vegas. It's the only thing that we end up getting to do in Las Vegas because there's 14 games in 3 days. But what are the other things that you guys and the team are going to do while you're here?
Oh, we're going to watch all 14 games.
Well, we're going to call you in for color analysis on 5 or 6 of them then.
A couple of our guys, and this isn't something I go to Las Vegas for, have been to the outlet stores and have found some deals, I guess. Right. I hope that we'll all see a show or two and just have some time seeing the Strip and all that Las Vegas offers.
Yeah,
well, maybe not all that Las Vegas offers.
Well, we're not going to ask about those things because there's a marketing slogan that says something to that effect. How much of a trip like this has a positive basketball effect? How much of it has just a team camaraderie effect too?
Well, some of that depends on what the team puts into it. I think if they put a lot of energy into the basketball aspect and finding ways to improve and building on that, some of which is just hanging out together, it can have some very important aspects. And as you mentioned, 5 years ago, those games probably were a couple of the games that got us into the national tournament. So I think it's an important piece for the people that are in it, and I think it's also important, again, back to recruiting, that we are doing things that are interesting as a part of the whole process. I think whether it's Las Vegas or we've had trips to Hawaii and Puerto Rico and Costa Rica and abroad to Scandinavia, that's part of the learning process too, and this is certainly an educative process.
It's Mark Hanson, head men's basketball coach of Gustavus Adolphus. His team participating here in the 2016 D3Hoops.com Classic in Las Vegas.